Hi everyone, and welcome to another one of Alan's angling adventures up the River Adur. It's Sunday the 21st of February, and time wise it's about 10 past 8. I'm going to be fishing a stretch on the river today that I haven't fished before, up at Stretham, and it's quite a bit closer for me as well, so it's not too bad cycling here. The reason I haven't fished this stretch before is because it can be quite pacey, quite fast, and I've never fancied it. But I'm going to give it a go today. The banks look a bit muddy, and it's very tidal up here. It is tidal here, but the tide is just right now. It's running down now, so should be fine. I'm going to be stick float fishing, and this stretch here, I'll tell you, over here, this side of the bridge is Pulborough, owned by Pulborough, and this side is Pulborough up to, I think it's that sluice there, where that sluice is. I'm not sure, it's either the sluice or where that fence is, the next one up. I'm not too certain. I think it is, I think it's where the sluice is, where that. So I'm going to be fishing above that sluice, somewhere up there, and we'll see if we can find a decent spot where the float can run down. Obviously, if things change, I should change my tactics and go into a feeder or something like that. But hopefully, that's what I'm going to be doing, stick float fishing, and we'll see how we get on. So I'm not going to waste any more time waffling on. I'm going to get up there, and I'll see you when I'm on the bank. So see you soon. Well, hi everyone, we're on the bank now. I've got my rod all set up, rig set up, so I'm going to have a go at stick float fishing just down here. I must say the watercolour looks really good today, sort of a greyish colour to it, and after all the rain we've had, and last few days haven't been too bad, so it is dropping, and it's well within its banks now, so that's good. Cloudy as well, although they give a bit of sunshine later today, so hopefully we can catch something. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work out right, then I can change to the feeder. Also, I've never fished this stretch before, and it is pretty fast running, so a bit of a test for me, to be honest with you, but we'll see how it goes. I've got a 13-foot rod today, so I thought I might need a longer rod, so that's what I've got. I'm just going to be fishing about halfway out. It's not as wide here as I thought it was. I thought it was wider than this, but it's not. And of course with it dropping as well, so anyway, I'm going to get my ground bait knocked up. I'll show you what I've got actually. Bait wise, I've got maggots. Let's have a look. Right, bait wise, I've got red and white maggots. Wouldn't be without them. I really wouldn't either. I've got a few worms, not many. I might not use them today, I don't know. And I've also got some liquidised bread here with cheese and garlic mixed in with it here. Right, so I've got that, and I've also got a loaf of bread with me, Warburton's, for the hook, if I need it, and I may well use some punch bread later. See how it goes, because species wise here, I know chub are here, some decent chub as well. Roach, bream, as I speak now, something's just shot across the water there. I don't know what that was. Didn't look like a fish either. It was interesting. Yeah, so species wise, chub, roach, bream, and I know for a fact there's double figure carp down on this stretch as well, but you know, if I won't get one of them in on this rod, well, on this tackle anyway. So that's what we're going to be going for. We'll see how it pans out, and I'll catch up with you when I'm fishing. Yeah, so I've got a nice smelly ground bait today. It's just my liquidised bread done in the blender with cheese and garlic ground bait added to it. It's nice and fluffy. So it's quite coloured. Visibility wise, there is a little bit of visibility there, not a lot. I'd say probably about 6 to 8 inches at the most. It's a greyish colour. I don't like the look of this weather coming over. Thought they gave it dry today. Be my bloody luck, won't it, if it starts raining hard. Anyway, I want to get a couple of balls of ground bait out there, and then we'll get cracking. See how it goes. Hopefully I can catch some fish and show you what I catch. Have to be very careful here because it's so muddy. So I'm going to be slipping and sliding all over the place here. We'll start off with just a single red maggot. Let's see how it pans out. That bit snaggy there. I think I need to take a few of these shots off because the depth of the water is up and down here. Trial and error with this really until you get it right. She is running, that's running better. Yes, I started off on the stick float, but found it too difficult, so I've changed to a maggot feeder now. We'll see how that goes. A case of getting some back. Very pacey. That is the trouble, it's very pacey, and this is what's put me off from fishing this stretch in the past. It's because of the pace of it. But it is nearer for me to get to. Well, I'm not bothered about that so much, but I've always wanted to give it a go here because I know there's some nice fish on this stretch. Well, I've been fishing for about 15-20 minutes, nothing yet, not a sign of a fish at all. I know my mate Mark's fishing the river somewhere today. I hope he catches, so wherever you are, Mark, good luck, mate. I might even try a ground bait feeder or something a bit later, see how it goes. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, and those of you that fish a lot will know what I'm on about, I don't feel confident this morning. I don't know what it is, but it's just something, I just don't feel confident. If I can get a bite, yeah, then I know there's fish there. Well, it's 9:45 now. No sign of anything yet. To be honest with you, I mean, I've walked and I've had a look from where I can fish down there up to here, and it's very difficult to find a spot where there's a slack, a nice slack. It seems quite pacey throughout the stretch. The old sun's peeking through the clouds now. The thing to do is just keep getting some bait out there. Oh, blimey. Oh, let's have a cup of tea. Let's move that back a bit. So it's been a few weeks since I went last time, probably about nearly a month ago now, not far short. We've only got, what, 3 and a bit weeks left before the close season. So I'd like to go at least once more before then. So I've got several places I want to try. This was one of them. So I do know there's some nice fish on this stretch if you can get amongst them. But since I've been river fishing, this is probably one of the paciest stretches of river that I've fished. And that's why I don't feel quite as confident about catching, but we'll see. So with the colour of the water, I am certainly leaning towards a ground bait feeder with the smelly ground bait in it. I will probably do that in a minute actually. We'll give a couple more chucks out on the maggot feeder, but at the moment there's been nothing yet. So I've now tried off the ground bait feeder now with a bit of punch bread on there, and we'll see how that goes. I think I might have just saw signs of fish feeding over the far side there. Saw bubbles coming up. So I've gone from a stick float to a maggot feeder, now to a ground bait feeder, all in the space of an hour. So this is what it's all about. You've got to, you know, until you get it right, until things are I feel a bit more confident with this though, with the smelly ground bait in there. It's quite a heavy ground bait feeder as well. I've had to put I think it's about 44 grams, this ground bait feeder, because it's so fast. But the old water levels have really dropped now, so the river's well within its banks. Just waiting for that first bite. If I can get a bite, you know there's fish here, you know. I am actually fishing on a bend here, so, but it is pretty featureless right the way up on this stretch. I tell you what though, I am beginning to think about using a worm as well. When I first got here this morning I thought I wasn't going to use them, but that may change. I certainly think that could be the way to go. Smelly ground bait with a worm on. We'll see anyway. I'll give this a few goes. Just moved along a fraction, like that mud there. Still got a worm on, ground bait feeder. I think that's the way I'm going to go today now. I'm going to stick with that. There's sort of a raft of reed and stuff over there, so I sort of cast over to there, because it is pretty, as I say, pretty featureless here really on this stretch. But no sign of anything yet at all. I suppose I am due a blank. I can't remember the last time I did blank. Oh, it was quite a while ago now. I've been lucky really and been able to catch something, so I am due it, and this could be the one. Time wise it's 20 to 11. I haven't had a single tap yet. I'm still on worm in a ground bait feeder. If it stays like this, I might even go back to the stick float again and try that again, but we'll see. Maybe it's just one of those days and they're just not interested. I've tried lengthening the tail up from the feeder to the hook and shortening it and stuff like that. It still hasn't made any difference yet. This is a real struggle at the moment, but we'll soldier on with it. But not even a tap, nothing. Days like that, don't you? You know, that's fishing, isn't it? There's still every chance something might turn up. Might go back to maggots in a minute. Pretty deep up there. It must be a good 10 to 12 foot, I reckon, in that middle. Well, it was this morning when I plumbed the depth with the float. Obviously it's dropped a bit since then. I say the feeder I've got on there now is 50 gram because it's just not holding bottom. Oh, first bite. That was a bite anyway. First one of the day. But it's not on there. I have to say, I've just changed to the to a much heavier feeder. It's the heaviest feeder I've got now. It's about 50 grams this feeder. Couple of white maggots on there, tipped off with a red maggot. That's the first bite. Oh well, it's gave me a little bit of hope. If I can pick something up. So what I'm going to do, because it's so tricky filming down there with this, if I catch anything, I'll just bring it up and show it to you. Well, it's 20 to 12 now, and it's just nothing happening at all. I just had that one bite earlier on, and that has been it. Somebody else has just turned up. He's fishing about 30-40 yards down from here. Oh, getting a little tap there. Definitely a bite. Trouble is it's so muddy. Well, it's twice now I've turned the camera on, and twice I've had a bite. But just sort of taps like that. I say it's so awkward. There's all that bloody mud down there. You can't move. You know, every time you move along a bit, it's all right for a few minutes, but after you've walked around in it, it's the same again. Anyway, if I catch anything, I'll let you know about it straight away. Well, it's 1 o'clock, nothing to report really at all. I've had a couple of taps, that's all I've had throughout this session. Nothing else at all. It's one of them days, you know, just not catching. Don't seem to be. I haven't seen the chap down there catch anything either. So got about another hour and a half's fishing left now. I can't see me saving a blank, but I am due one, as I say, so maybe that one is today. We'll keep trying for the next hour and a half and see if we can just pick one fish up, but it's not looking good. Well, it's 2 o'clock now. I haven't caught nothing, but I've just been talking to the other fisherman. I've been standing there for about half an hour talking to him, and the light rod's been out there on bread flake for about half an hour. It's been sitting out there, and all of a sudden the rod tips bent right round. I've got down there, but it wasn't on there when I struck, which was a shame. And that's the only real bit of action I've had all day, apart from those couple of tapping bites I had this morning. It's making me think now, because I've put a size 8 hook on with a really big bit of bread flake, and that's what I had on there. I was having an interesting conversation with that fisherman down there. He's fishing for carp. He's had one bream of about £4, I believe. I thought for a minute there, with chance there to have saved the day. Maybe that's the way I should have gone this morning. Size 8 hook, and then just go for it. Big bit of bread flake, and that's it, instead of, you know, but you never know, do you? You know, it's was drinking a cup of tea at the time. I threw my cup in the air and dived down here, but of course there's all that mud and that lot, so you can't. But it was a lovely bite. As I say, I'd been out there for about half hour though before it actually. I didn't even think the bread was going to still be on there. Right, anyway, give it another 20 minutes and then I'm going to pack up, so I'll catch up with you a bit later. Well, I still no fish, but I had another stonking bite. It's 10 minutes after the last one. Thought it was on there, but it wasn't. Judging by the way the rod tip went, I would say that it was chub. Because it weren't taps, it was a wrap round. You know, the rod tips wraps round. I go for bread flake this morning. Size 8 hook. I might have had something by now. Well, it's 3:15 now, and I'm packing up now. So, summary of today's session. I had about 6 bites. I had a couple more in the last 45 minutes, but still couldn't hook them. So about 6 bites in all, but no fish. And a couple of those 6 bites were nice bites, you know, not exaggerating, they really were. The others were more or less tapping bites, but 2 of them were where the rod tip gets pulled out, but I couldn't hook them. Probably chub, but never quite know. I've changed my mind. I think I will fish here again, but when I fish here again I must find a spot that isn't as muddy as what this is. Oh God almighty, there's mud everywhere. Anyway, I have enjoyed it, and I haven't blanked for quite a while now, so, and all the bites, well, the first 2 bites I had were on maggots, but the best bites were on bread flake on a size 8 hook, so maybe that's something to take into consideration next time. So anyway, thanks for watching, enjoy your own angling, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye for now.